unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to your live boxing ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to your live.
That is it. I really do not care. Jaron Boots Ennis, Vergil Ortiz Jr. The fight is in serious jeopardy. It doesn't look like they can agree on certain things. In this video, I got to get unpacked and let you know the update of what's going on today's boxing news. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, these are the type of reports, for me, that makes it hard to be a boxing fan. Love the sport. I wouldn't be doing this, and I wouldn't have dedicated so much of my life to the sport of boxing if I did not love it. But there are certain things when you get like a great fight and everybody's thrilled, everybody likes it, you feel good about yourself. But then boxing does provide some bullsh. And that bullish is what makes it hard to be a boxing fan. Enter the chaos that is Vergil Ortiz versus Jaron Boots Ennis. Boxing Scene, they put up a brand new article. Manager can't understand why Vergil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis is the gift that nobody wants to receive. So just based on the title, I already knew when this was sent to me that it was going to be some bull. Right? Vergil Ortiz manager Rick Marinigan has given an update on what's holding up the fight. The pair were mentioned as opponents. Ennis moved up to junior middleweight, yada, yada, yada. He was in attendance for Vergil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin. If you follow my channel, you would already know that. Now let's get to it. However, there appears to be problems at the negotiating table, which is causing a holdup. Hold up. A smoke every day. Right? Rest in peace to Nate Dogg. There is a holdup. There were rumors that Vergil Ortiz could face former unified welterweight champ Errol Spence Jr. in an all-Texas clash instead of a fight with Boots Ennis. Dan Raphael reported, quote, per my source, DAZN, which has dibs on Vergil Ortiz's fights, will not allow Errol Spence fight to happen. I repeat, they are putting cold water on that fight. Golden Boy, Vergil Ortiz, they wanted to fight. I don't know about Errol Spence. He's just kind of been with his family. But DAZN, the actual broadcaster, don't want to fight. Now, when Vergil Ortiz beat Lubin, immediately after Boots got in the ring and confronted him, and he was doing the rah, rah, rah. Boots was like, we can fight tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. You know, just regular trash talk. I want to fight you. Let's get it. Now, for me, I feel like there was a lot of pressure on Boots because the way things played out, ultimately, some people said he ducked when he had a prior opportunity to fight Vergil Ortiz. So I think Boots didn't like that and didn't like that positioning, so he wanted to make it clear, I'm on your line. Like a prank caller. I'm on your line. I want to fight you. And he did that. He pulled up, went to the show, hopped in the ring, confronted him, boom. Vergil Ortiz was like, I got smoke. I'm going to make you pay. This is what Boots was saying. I'm going to make you pay for all that stuff. Your manager, Rick Marinigan, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, all that stuff, y'all, your dad. I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to hold you responsible for the trash that they've been talking. This is what Boots told Vergil Ortiz to his face. Vergil Ortiz was like, you got a signature for me? You going to sign the contract? But this is where Vergil Ortiz missed me and went completely wrong. In ring, it was a good face-off. It was both guys seemingly wanted to fight. But right after, when they went their separate ways, Vergil Ortiz started doing it like interviews on the way back to the locker room. And he was like, yeah, I'll fight whoever, but I don't really care. And then he changed it and says, you know what? I do really care. Give me Errol Spence Jr., right? That's always been my dream fight, and that's what I want. And he did interviews after the date, after the Lubin fight, saying the same thing. My dream fight is to fight Errol Spence Jr., and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. It's my dream fight. That's what I want. That looked extremely bad for Vergil Ortiz. Why do all this woofing when Boots is pulling up and running down on you? And then Boots is here now. He's close to your age. He's active. He doesn't have, he's not coming off a loss. He doesn't have any losses. He's not coming off of injuries and a car wreck. And again, he's an active fighter. And he was the one that faced off with you on DAZN. Right? So why would you then, after being confronted by somebody who seemingly is the perfect fit for your next dance partner, why would you be bringing up Errol Spence, who, EJ, that's my dude, but he's been inactive since the Crawford fight. We all know his out of the ring struggles with, residual effects of the car crash, right? And again, he's coming off a loss to Crawford and a long layoff. So to me, that made Vergil Ortiz look extremely bad because you got a dude barking in your face right now. That's a fight we've all wanted to see. You shouldn't even be talking about Errol Spence, not to let Errol Spence come back his way if he chooses to, right? Let the boy, hey, stop that cat. Hey, Mr. Man down, stretch season. Yes, definitely. Let him, come back to the sport, get his bearings back, do a tune-up, couple tune-ups. Even though he said he don't like tune-ups, he deserves it. He always fought the best. He fought Crawford. You know what I mean? Come back to the sport and then start getting the big names. That's what I would prefer. Why would we want to see Vergil Ortiz versus a guy who's been MIA for 3 years or whatever? So for me, that didn't make any sense. And apparently, according to this article, it didn't make sense to DAZN either. They're like, we don't want Errol Spence. That fight would have been great 4 or 5 years ago or whatever, but that's not what we're looking for. So per source, DAZN has dibs on Ortiz's fight, and they will not allow the Errol Spence fight to happen. DAZN are exerting intense pressure on Golden Boy, Vergil Ortiz's promoter, to get the Jaron Boots Ennis fight done. Bravo to DAZN for that. Bravo. Because that's the fight I want. And listen, I know what the fans, they like, oh, but Ego, what do you mean? It's not just about what you want. Oh, on the contrary. Yes, it is, because I am the king of boxing talk. There's no one better. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. I'm Michael Jackson, y'all Tito. So it is about what I want specifically. Plus, I'm a consumer. Y'all know I pay into the sport, right? So I'll buy, I'll promote, using my channel and my brands, right? I promote what I like. If you ever want to see Boxing Ego do an even more extraordinary and bang up stand-up job, give me a fight that I personally rock with. Yeah. You're like, oh, Ego, you're being biased. You can call it whatever you want. If I like to fight a lot, I'm going to go harder. Period. You dig? So, yeah, I'm a consumer. I don't want Errol Spence, Vergil Ortiz. Not under these current terms. That, again, years ago, I would have been messing with that, but not under the current circumstance. So shout out to DAZN for locking that down. Now, Vergil Ortiz manager Rick Marinigan spoke to Boxing Scene to clear up what the holdup is for the Ortiz Boots negotiation at present. Quote, based on public comments by network executives at DAZN, meeting with our promoter and the tone of it, I think the network is attempting to impose and force both the fighter and the promoter to do what they say, and that's it. That don't sound right. I don't care what none of y'all talk about. That don't sound right. While I think it's foolish to do that and to do it in public for a litany of reasons, that's it. It's okay. It's just business, and they have the right to attempt that, as we have the right to do many things contractually also. Bro, it's not really sounding like they want to fight Boots. Let's be real. It is not. To me, this is not the code of conduct, the candor, and the behavior and the type of statements that I would imagine somebody who really wanted to make the fight would be saying this. You're saying, why are they doing it? It's foolish to do this and put the pressure on Vergil Ortiz. Like, the article literally said DAZN wants Boots versus Ortiz. And you're almost mad at DAZN, according to this comment, right? And saying they're trying to impose and force the fighter and promoter to do what they want to do. What are we talking about, bro? First of all, you the manager. You're not even like Golden Boy. So I get it. You have a role in Vergil Ortiz's career, but so does Golden Boy, right? 2, I thought this is what y'all wanted too. 3, if the network wants it on their platform and or they're paying licensing fee, they're funding the event, they're responsible for the camera crew, the ring, the gaffers, and you know what I mean? Like getting the event set up, promoting it, and it's like a potluck. They have a part in it, right? The network, DAZN. So yeah, they should very well have a say-so in what goes on. They've already given you Boachuk. They've already given you that dude that had an aneurysm. Ain't nobody, DAZN, they covered the bill on those fights or whatever. Like, meaning they allowed those fights on their platform. Madrimov fight. Madrimov was coming off a loss to Terrence Crawford. Facts. All I speak in is facts. So DAZN, I personally feel they have every right to be like, this is what we do or don't want on our platform. We want to make proper fights. They came out with DAZN Ultimate Package and all this type of stuff, right? So it's kind of weird how DAZN is structured. I will give you that. The DAZN curse strikes again. But my thing is this. You want people to pay in advance with a sport like boxing. Like, hey, just give us your money for the DAZN Ultimate and you get all the pay-per-views. But you don't really know what pay-per-views that entails. They could put Inoue versus Picasso, a fight that nobody asked for, that wasn't even a good fight like that, right? And that was one of the pay-per-views. So that's already a little bit sketch. So, yeah, DAZN probably, if they want people to purchase, they're going to have to provide big fights that are exclusive to DAZN. Not like Ryan Garcia versus Barrios, where you could buy it on PBC as well, right? That is not the same because I'm going to buy it from PBC. You know what I mean? They need fights that are exclusive to DAZN platform. Canelo Crawford was on Netflix, right? So they missed out on that. They had Crawford's last fight. They worked with Canelo in the past. And then when they worked together and Crawford fights Canelo, all of a sudden Turkey takes it to Netflix. So yeah, DAZN needs to tighten up and get clear about the programming that they want, because Moses Atuma and Joseph Parker and Dillian White versus Umbaku and all these guys, that's not going to cut it. So Boots and Ortiz is a fight that could breathe new life into the platform and make people actually want to commit or buy the pay-per-view or whatever, right? He goes on to say, Vergil Ortiz has a proper minimum, gets multiple opponents to be offered each fight, and we can legally fight where the best opportunity comes from, period, as it should be. Respect and loyalty run both ways. Show them and receive them. Saying things publicly like that makes it hard to explain to a fighter who will fight and has fought anyone. Again, what about fighting Boots? None of this has anything to do with fighting Boots. It sounds like you're bickering about the network pressing you to fight Boots. But again, I thought this is what you want. All they said is we don't want Errol Spence. That's what the quote said. So why are we doing all this back and forth for a fight y'all said you would entertain and you want? Let's keep it going. It seems as though the money placed on the table for Ortiz Ennis is not what Marinigan was expecting for a fight between the two best fighters in the division, which we don't even know. You got Fundora, you got Jermell Charlo, so we don't really know. Boots fought like one random Portuguese guy. We don't know that they're the best, but whatever. Vergil Ortiz arguably lost to Boachuk, who Brandon Adams destroyed and knocked out, and then recently fought on the Canelo Crawford card, and then he beat him like every round. So that Boachuk win, which should have been a loss for Vergil Ortiz, didn't really age well, right? But anyway, it's saying Ortiz Ennis is not what Marinigan was expecting for the fight. The way this is being framed, you making it sound like you the one stepping in the ring between the two best fighters. In recent times, Saudi financier Turkey has been involved in funding these so-called mega events, but neither Riyadh Season or The Ring have been interested in a bout between Vergil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. Quote, I'm not sure why, and I'm sure it's complicated. We are grateful to Turkey for prior opportunities, and should they not have interest here for whatever reason, we look forward to working with them in the future. I can only guess or speculate as to why, so I won't. I like to deal with facts. So is a fight between Ortiz and Ennis reliant on Saudi investment in order to happen? Quote, no, not at all. My offer back was an easy one, and to sum it up, DAZN can make this fight for about the cost of one single guy that just fought on their network this past month, and will fight coming up over the next 120 days on their network. A 6 more set to fight January, April, again for just about literally the cost of a single guy coming up on the cards I mentioned. The entire fight can be made, and the network promoter retains all the upside as well. Should it do what they say they called it with The Ring, the biggest fight in the sport to make? I would have thought it could be done in 2 minutes after that. They would be getting the deal of deals, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I'm over it. This is like pointless. I made this very doable for them. They could save their expectations and talk. As my guys all know, certain fights will come up and be far more than others. They will have to go down until a super fight or large fight appears, until the public appetite has to warrant it. So we are very realistic procedurally, blah, blah, blah. It's literally half the cost of the fights that just took place, and one is set to take place in January, February, March, and April that I know of 100% on the same network. With about 12 million to 15 million a month in subscriptions, the pay-per-view element, the most important, the move to charge $480 a year. This is the kind of money they must deliver, the fans must get, and we are not playing hardball, as you can see. We came in to make it easy, simple, easy, simple deal. Bro, I'm done, bro. I don't even care. Like, I'm not even, y'all can read the article. I'm not even going through that. It's just a bunch of like BS for real, for real. Either y'all making a fight or you're not. I really don't care at this point. Like, for one, I try to warn you maniacs that Saudi was going to pull back on spending, and not just in boxing, across a lot of their entertainment endeavors. I told you that. Y'all thought this free money was just going to be eternal. Like it was just an infinite free money, and all you had to do is fight with them and you were going to get these crazy bags. Every business wants to make a profit at some point. ROI. You have to have some reason to, like, who just wants to blow money? Even if you have money to spend, who just wants to blow money and you can't get nothing back? You can't build interest. You can't build relationships. It's just you're losing money and not gaining much else, right? So they got to figure this out and figure it quick. But anyway, one, Boxer Ego, per usual, was right. This looks bad because y'all was like, Turkey got unlimited money. The Saudis got unlimited money. But then this article is saying that Ring and Riyadh aren't showing the interest in this fight, and DAZN ain't paying Boots and Ortiz what they expected to make, or at least Vergil Ortiz, his side is saying they wouldn't be getting the amount they thought they were going to get. So that's the reason why the fight hasn't gotten across the line. Then the other thing that's weird is Rick Morinnigan is talking about other people's deal. There's a fight in January through April, and for whatever they're getting, you should charge. What are you talking about, bro? Boxing looks so dumb to me. One, how do you know how much other people are getting? That's for starters. How do you know? How do you know how much another fighter in one of these months, how do you know how much money they're getting for their fight, which has nothing to do with you? And Rick Morinnigan, I don't think he has a fighter that he manages that is bigger than Vergil Ortiz, right? Like, you don't manage Shakur Stevenson, you don't manage Teofimo, so you don't really have a fighter or upcoming fight that I can think of where the fighter is bigger than Vergil Ortiz. So, because if you did, then maybe, like, if you work with Canelo, then you might know what Canelo got in his last fight. But you don't work with none of these names that are bigger than Vergil Ortiz, so how do you know what other people are getting? Two, everything is a case-by-case basis. Like, if Ryan Garcia, let's say he's going to get a lot of money, Ryan brings a different audience than Vergil Ortiz. So even though he's never been a champion, he's a bigger brand. And, like, look at Ryan, and I'm not even saying this like on no cheerleading stuff. Ryan knows how to entertain and intermingle with the streaming. He's doing all these streams with Neon and Aiden Ross, Rampage, like Krishan Rock, Blueface. He know how to tap into that audience. Ain't nobody see Vergil Ortiz until he fight, right? He be like playing guitar in his crib and stuff. Nobody knows anything, so it's like, build your brand up. Start a YouTube channel and post regularly, right? It's mind-boggling. A lot of these boxers feel like all I have to do is use my fist and I'm going to be a huge star. It don't work like that. There's a couple people like Canelo or something where he got the right look, came at the right time, and could fight, and it just all worked out for him. That's not the case for everybody, where you just have the look that they want to go with and promote. You know what I mean? You're going to have to make yourself hot and blow yourself up. So this is what makes boxing look stupid. You know, you can't even get excited for these fights, and it's just a lot of chaos and drama and like, oh, we want more money and we want to fight Errol Spence, and why is DAZN putting us on blast and we have options. It don't really sound like y'all want to fight Boots. I'm just being real. It don't sound like it. And then where's Turkey? Like, he got money for all these other fights that nobody want. Like, the whole scheme is looking kind of blown up. Like, who is Devin Haney gonna fight? Eddie Hearn talking about he not paying for Lewis Crocker, is gonna cost too much. I thought y'all had endless money. How come you can't make Devin versus Lewis Crocker? And then if you don't make that unification, what is a better option? Then you said you wanted Better Beef and Beevil Part 3, and then all the reports are suggesting they're gonna do interim tune-up fights. Why don't you just do the trilogy? What's up with the money? Why can't you get Better Beef Beevil so we can be done with it? And then if Benavidez beat Zordo Ramirez, you know, he could fight the winner of Beevil Better Beef 3. What's up with all the half-stepping in boxing? I don't get it. And then now you have Vergil Ortiz's promoter or manager, and he's like, oh, these other fighters are getting this purse in these upcoming fights, so we want this. Again, case-by-case basis. Maybe they're bigger brands. Maybe they've made similar money. They're not going to just give you no crazy. It's still a great opportunity. I'm sure whatever the number is going to be millions, and you could increase the pay-per-view buy rate if you are in a super fight or a fight that people want to see and you promote it well and get people to support. It's like these new fighters are super lazy. They want the money, but they don't want to have to work for branding themselves. They don't want to have, they rather a flat fee than the pay-per-view model, because they know they don't have no personality and they can't sell pay-per-views. So they don't want to even chance making back-end money. They rather just, man, give me a lump sum of money. But as you see, that looks like that's drying up. The Saudis don't look like they're just trying to pay buku bucks for any old fight. Even though I think Boots and Vergil Ortiz is a fight that they should get behind, obviously there's some reason behind that. Maybe because Turkey hasn't worked with Boots, or maybe he feels he tried to make the fight in the past and it didn't work, so now he don't care. Maybe it's the budget cuts. I don't know. I'm not the Saudis. I'm not Turkey, so I don't know. But either way, it makes boxing look sluggish. What's the point of all these face-offs? Getting in the ring, hopping in the ring, trash talking about what you're going to do and with this person. And now it's like, oh, it's a business. We're not getting the money. Oh, the fight might not happen. Long, drawn-out public negotiations. What a mess. I don't have nothing else to say. I'm gonna waste my breath if I keep going, because it ain't nothing to talk about. Make the fight or don't make it, but I don't really see a better fight out there at this current moment for Vergil Ortiz that makes sense, that the fans are requesting, other than the guy who hopped in the ring and confronted you. We unpack. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new. But even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.